morning. Happy Friday. Thank you for joining me for Sanozama. For today, let's find a comfortable seated position. We'll start here. And you can bring your hands in prayer position, or suggestion for today is to rest the hands on the knees with the palms facing up. Really take this gesture of receiving and open into it. Allow yourself to receive any energy from the universe, any clarity. The universe knows what it is you want. And if you just take a moment to sit in stillness and in silence and open yourself up, you will receive all that you are looking for. So for this practice, let's make our intention to surrender. So to surrender to any higher powers here. I like to suggest the big ball of fire in the sky, the sun, the earth underneath us, the mother. If you have some other powers that you pray to or that you identify with, you can surrender to those here as well. Just let go. During this practice, let go. Be open and be free. And now you can bring your palms together in front of your heart. We'll chant the sound Om to start. Take a deep inhale. Bow your head to your heart. Then slowly open your eyes, release your hands, and come on to your back. Right away, extend your legs. And if you haven't already, tap into your Ujjayi breath. So you still want to use the power of the breath in this practice. Deep inhales and exhales through the nose. And then pull the belly into the spine. Start to feel the breath in the chest. So move a little higher in the body with the breath. And then as you extend the legs, start to wiggle out the toes. And we'll slowly open up all the joints. Let's circle out the ankles. And we're clearing out any tension from the joints so that the energy can move freely through the body. And make circles in the other direction now. So like a little highway here, we want to clear out any traffic. Again, we want energy flowing freely from the toes to the crown of the head. Let's open and close the knees. And as you do this, listen for any sounds, any tightness, any popping or cracking. And now let's work into the hips by making large circles with the knees. If you need to, you change the position of the arms here for stability. Let's move in both directions with those circles. Again, deep Ujjayi breathing. Remember, pull the belly in, feel the breath in the chest. One more round, switch up the direction. And then let's cross the ankles. Come up to seated. And with the hands on the knees, we'll just work in the waist, which is not really a joint, but it's part of the body. Let's inhale, half circle forward. Exhale, half circle back. So again, that's an inhale, come forward, send the chest forward. Exhale, round the back. Let's do 2 more rounds in this direction. Really moving with the breath here, so synchronized movement with breath and not the other way around. Let's switch it up. So again, those exhales take you back. Inhales bring you forward. Good. Right away, beginning to tap into some fluid movement here, some circular movements. Last round. Then make your way back to neutral with the hands on the shoulders. Make big circles with the elbows to really open up that shoulder girdle. Move in one direction. And then move in the other. Now let's work down the arm here. Just check in with the elbows. And then roll out the wrist. So really make the hands tight here in order to really stretch the wrist in one direction and then the other. And then claw out the fingers. Interlace the fingers, squeeze. It's a lot of yummy, fun, playful movement in this Sanozama class. It doesn't have to always be so serious. Speaking of yummy, let's roll the neck. So big circles, drop the head back, bring ear to shoulder, and then chin to chest. So really feel something here. Our theme for this practice today is to open up to feeling and being a little vulnerable. So really take a deep stretch here. Set the tone for your practice. That you'll move as deeply as you can so that you feel something in the body. All right, let's come on back to neutral and then make your way onto tabletop position. Hips over the knees, shoulders over the wrists. And if you ever need child's pose throughout this practice, by all means you go ahead and take that and you meet up with us later. A little cat-cow here. Inhale, slide your heart forward, lift it up. Exhale, push into the mat, round the back. Let's do 3 more rounds like that. Inhale, open, spread the sitting bones wide, spread the collarbone. And exhale, you push down with the hands and the tops of the feet, round that back. 2 more. It's an inhale forward. Remember, spread the sitting bones here. Exhale, push down, not just with the hands, with the tops of the feet and the back of the heart towards the sky. Last one. Inhale, open up. Exhale, pull it in. Look towards the navel. And then come on back. So working front and back and now side to side. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. Open the heart. And then exhale, thread it through to the other side. Just 3 more rounds like that. Inhale, open up. And exhale, thread the arm through. 2 more rounds. Be mindful of the whole body here, so check in with those feet. Make sure the feet are in line with the knees as you move in and out of this pose. Then let's come on back, neutral position. We'll switch sides. Inhale, sweep the right arm up. Exhale, thread it through to the left. Drop the ear. If you can, 3 more rounds. Moving dynamically. Moving in this water-like position. So just back and forth, just like the ocean waves. There's a lot of that type of movement in this class today. It's just go with the flow, back and forth with the breath. And let's come back up again to neutral and shift your hips back towards your heels, child's pose. As you inhale, come forward, lower the hips, and lift the heart. Drop the head back. Exhale, lift the hips, shift them back into child's pose. Forehead on the mat. Let's do 3 more rounds like that. And inhale, really relaxed upward facing dog here. So hips should be low but off the mat. Exhale, push back, child's pose. 2 more rounds, again, always moving at your pace. So for this class, again, just a lot of inhales and exhales, forward and back, wave-like motion. So you do that on your own pace and just meet back up with me. There's no rush. All right, last round. Now let's come on back up to tabletop position. As you inhale, extend the right leg. Exhale, pull your knee in towards your nose. You got 3 more like that. Inhale, lift straight up. Exhale, pull it in. So work on the back bend now. Inhale, extend that right leg. Take the heart and the head up. Exhale, pull that knee to the nose. Last round, inhale, extend, arch the back. Exhale, pull it in. And release. Let's switch sides. Inhale, extend the left leg. Exhale, pull knee to nose. 3 more just like that. Inhale, work on the back bend, arch the back. Exhale, knee to nose, navel to spine. We got 2 more. Inhale, extend, and exhale, flex. Last round. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, pull it in, and release. A really interesting pose here from this tabletop position. As you inhale, lift your left leg out towards the left. So inhale, lift. Exhale, pull it back in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, in. Let's move like that. Let's do about 6 more rounds. Really getting to this outer upper part of the leg and the hip, the IT band, the glutes. So as working so many muscles here in this really interesting position. We don't normally get into this part of the body. We've got about 2 more. And just for today, let's hold it for 3 breaths. So lift up, and you can lift a little higher, even if it's just a centimeter, and higher, and higher. And then set it down. Let's switch sides. Inhale, lift that right leg. Exhale, bring it back. We've got 5 more rounds. Remember to move with the breath. Lift up on that inhale. And you should be feeling some heat in the body, even in these seemingly simple poses. And if you're not quite feeling the heat, we'll hold it on this last round. Again, hold, lift a little higher. Every breath, lift up, even if it's just a centimeter. Lift, lift, lift. And then set that knee back down. Let's stretch it out. Inhale with the hips over the knees. Exhale, drop the hips over to the right. So another really yummy stretch here. Getting into this part of the body that's really challenging to get into. Let's do one more side over to the left and just stretch out that part of the body we just flexed. And now let's tuck the toes underneath, step up and back to downward facing dog. From here, shake the head out. You're releasing any tension in the neck. Pedal out the feet. Sway the hips. And then let's look forward in between the hands. If you know you can hop gracefully, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, step in between those hands. Stay low, so keep the knees bent. Bring the arms out in front of you. We'll work through a squatting position and forward fold. Find a spot to focus your gaze, and as we move forward and back, keep your gaze on that line. Inhale here with the heart lifted. Exhale, drop the heels, straighten the knees, interlace the fingers behind the back. If you need to for balance, you separate the feet hip distance apart. Inhale, come forward. Again, lift the heels, lift the heart, look forward. Exhale, slide the hands across the mat, interlace fingers behind the back. And let's do 4 more, just like that. Really challenging the balance here, engaging the core, and then as we fold, working into those shoulders to open the heart. Remember, the goal here is to open up so we can be a little more vulnerable, so we can feel something in this life. That's really what makes us human here, so move towards that. Feel. Inhale. Lift up. Exhale. And let's make this our last round. Inhale. Bring it forward. Lift. Exhale. Follow that line with the gaze. And once you interlace the fingers behind the back, you can hold it here. And you can bend. So let's bend the right knee and then open the chest over to the left. Come back to center. That's an inhale. Exhale. Bend the left knee. Open the heart over to the right. And if you feel any tension in the neck or shoulders, you can look down here. Otherwise, you look in the direction that the heart is facing. So one more round. Inhale, center. Exhale, over to one side. Inhale, come back. Exhale, twist the opposite side here. And then let's release. All right, bring the hands down so you are in a forward fold. We'll work on the waterfall. As you inhale, you bend the knees, you sweep the arms up, arch the back, and then you exhale, fold forward, slide the hands across the mat. Inhale, lift it up, just like a big waterfall here. Get a lot of water-like movement in this practice. And as I said earlier, we got a few more rounds here. We are human. We're 70 to 80% water, so let's connect with this water-like emotion. Just back and forth, in and out with the breath. Last 2 rounds. Last round. Next time you come up, inhale into your back bend, and exhale, step your left foot to the back edge of the mat. Open up towards me, release your arms to your sides. And now turn your heels in, toes out. Super wide stance here. Bring your arms overhead. Then cross the forearms. As you inhale here, lift the heart, look up. As you exhale, bend the knees, bring the arms forward and down, sweep the hands across the mat. It's an inhale, push down, lift up, straighten those knees. And exhale, come on down. So again, tapping into the water here. You want to move as if you were in the water. So as if you were in a pool or the ocean, you want to move with resistance. Otherwise, there's not much going on in the pose, in the upper body, unless you scoop the air instead of just fanning it. Resistance. Feel the muscles of the arm activate. Feel the muscles of the chest activate. Again, you're scooping the air as if it were water. All right, last round, let's come on up. Inhale. Exhale, release the arms to the sides. And it may be a little challenging to get that scooping motion from that position, so we'll try it also from here. So bring the arms to your sides, bend the elbows, and again, you inhale, you sweep the arms up and back, you exhale, you bring that air down. It's an inhale, elbows back, arms overhead, exhale, down. We got 3 more just like that. Inhale, exhale. You may just have to feel it out. So we're not making a lot of lines in our body with this practice, so movements can be a little more interesting. You gotta just be creative with it. As long as you're moving with your breath. Last round, you're doing it perfectly fine. Let's come on down. Let's bring the hands down. Turn those heels back so they are in line with your toes. And then bring one arm to your side. Actually, before you do that, let's really activate the legs to make this exercise a little easier. Lift the toes with the inner arches of the feet, hug those thigh muscles to the bone. And now bring an arm to your side. Anyone, they're both coming up. Once you've got that other arm, and hover so your torso is parallel with the floor. So really press down with the outer edges of the feet. Inhale here. As you exhale, bend the right knee. Take the weight over to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, bend the left knee. Weight over to the left. Let's do 3 more rounds. Inhale, center. Pull that navel to the spine. Exhale, keep that length in the spine as you bend over right. Inhale. And exhale. Again, always moving with your breath at your own pace. Just allow me to be a guide. But you really do what your body needs in this moment, at this time. All right. Let's come back to center. Just hold it there for 3, 2, and 1. And now bring the hands down. Walk forward. Rest the knees on the mat. So you may have to hop back a little so your feet are in line with your knees. And so your knees are actually on your yoga mat. From here, walk your hands forward. And if you don't feel a deep stretch on the inner leg line, separate your knees. Remember, we're working towards feeling something today. Open up the body, allow it to be a little more vulnerable here. And as you inhale, you can bring the weight forward. And exhale, shift your hips back. So they are behind your knees. So inhale forward. Exhale back. Take a few more rounds like that. Check in with the shoulders here. Make sure they're not taking on that tension that you are releasing from the hips. You can also check in with the jaw. So you want the lips closed, but the jaw relaxed. So bring a little space between the teeth. And if you find just a lot of tension in the jaw today, you can, just for this pose right now, exhale through the mouth. And if you feel even that is not helping, you're going to exhale through the mouth as you make some sound like and use the sound to help you push that tension out of the body. All right, let's walk the hands back. Bring those knees in a little closer to each other. Tuck the toes underneath. Come back into our wide-legged standing position. Now bring the hands into fists. Inhale here at center. Again, your torso's parallel to the floor. Exhale, bend the right knee. And I use that right arm to push that right leg back. And feel that deep opening on the inner leg line. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, walk the hands over left. Again, left arm helps the right or the left leg move back in space. Inhale. And exhale. Let's work on 2 more rounds here, working the inner and the outer part of the leg. Next, we'll do a similar pose, working on the hamstring instead. So here we go, back to center with that deep ujjayi breath. Exhale, bend the right knee, and this time lift the right heel, turn the left toes up. We inhale, back to center. Exhale, bend the left knee, turn those right toes towards the sky. And you can continue working like this with the hands down, or you can try to bring the hands in prayer position. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, over to one side. So really stretching the back of the legs here. And also challenging the balance and activating the core. So again, we're always working towards building that heat in the body so we can release toxins, can release anything that the body doesn't need through that heat, through that sweat. Let's do one more round. If you can do it with the hands up, do that. Can really activate that core. Now let's bring the hands down. Pivot 90 degrees to face the front of the room. And then bring that left knee down. Come into a low lunge. And we'll work dynamically. About 6 rounds today, so a little more than usual. 6 rounds before we hold. It's an inhale. Bend the right knee, lift the heart. Exhale, shift the hips back. Pull the toes back with you. We've got 5 more rounds. Move at your own pace. And in this kneeling position, as you inhale, it is okay if that front knee comes forward of the front ankle. You want a deep stretch on that back psoas, that back hip flexor. If you were standing, I would say knee coming forward of the ankle is not okay. But in this kneeling position, it is just a you move in and out of it quickly. Don't hold for too long. And the next time you exhale, hold it there, straighten the right knee, pull the toes back, and start to send the right heel forward. So right heel forward, tuck those left toes, pull them back, and working towards really opening up, really feeling something in the body, especially in the hamstrings here and in the hips. So walk the hands back, bring torso over the hips. You can even make this a back bend. And check back in with the jaw. Keep it relaxed, even if you need to exhale through the mouth, or even make some sounds through the mouth. And now let's pull that right leg about halfway back. Walk the hands inside the leg. And then with an inhale, turn the toes out about 45 degrees. Exhale, let the knee fall towards the side. And then make your way on to your forearms. If you can't quite come to the forearms today, you can stay on the wrists, stay on fists to take pressure off of the wrists. And if you are all the way down with me, you can try opening and closing that right leg like a wing, like a butterfly wing, just opening and closing. Just flapping in the wind here. Okay, let's come on up. And then frame that right foot with the hands. Slide the right foot back. And then bring the left foot forward. So working towards Hanuman, toward that split position. 6 rounds, moving dynamically. First, inhale, forward with the heart lifted and the left knee bent. Exhale, shift those hips back. Work on touching your left shin with your chin. We got about 5 more rounds here. Make sure you're synchronizing movement with breath. We've got 1 more round. And then we'll hold. So next time you exhale, you straighten the left knee. Keep it straight. Push that heel forward. And then if you can, you tuck your back toes underneath. You slide that right foot back. You lean over towards that front leg side. So on this side, lean a little bit to the left. Walk your hands back, bring your torso over your hips. If you are completely down today, any arm variation here. If you're not quite down, breathe, focus on those exhales. Even push them out of the body through the mouth so that you can release tension in the hips. And now, let's pull that left foot back. Turn the toes out. Bring the hands inside the leg. And then inhale here. As you exhale, left knee fall out to the side. Come onto the forearms. And notice if this side of the hip feels a little more open or a little tighter than that first side. And don't analyze so much here, just notice what you feel and how it's different from the first side. If you're pulsing with me, it's an inhale, bring the knee in, exhale, push it out. And just flapping your wings here. And then let's come back up to the hands. Frame the left foot. Slide it back. And come to a kneeling position with the hands on the thighs. Close the eyes for just a few moments here. Let the breath settle down. And now, as you inhale, feel the lungs filling up with air. And then hold at the top of the breath for as long as you can without creating any tension in the body. And then exhale. So again, you inhale through the nose, really fill yourself up with air. Hold it. Maybe a count of 2, 3, or 4. And then exhale again through the nose. 2 more rounds like that. Inhale, fill yourself up. Hold at the top of the breath. And then slowly exhale through the nose. Last round, inhale. Hold. And release. Okay. Now you can open the eyes and slide forward onto the belly here. Let's work at a little Shalabhasana, arms and legs out to the sides like Superman position. As you inhale, lift yourself up, lift the arms, lift the legs. Exhale, make a pillow with the hands. Lower down. Again, it's an inhale, right back up. Exhale, lower down, turn to the other side. Let's do 4 more rounds, lifting a little higher. Each breath. Let's inhale, right back up. Lift the legs, lift the thighs. Exhale down. Last 2 rounds. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale up as high as you can. And exhale, lower it down. And now let's bend the knees, reach back for the ankles. 1 round of Dhanurasana. And we'll rock forward and back if we can as we come up. So inhale, kick the legs back, lift the heart off the mat, and then rock forward on the front of the hips. And then release, keep the knees bent, make that pillow with the hands, and take the legs out side to side. Like windshield wipers, releasing any tension in the back of the hip and the tailbone. lumbar spine, that lower back. So really reach the feet down towards the floor. And now let's come on up. Let's try a little scorpion here, even if it doesn't happen today. We're working towards that. Bring the hands back so they're in line with about the low ribs. Bring the big toes to touch. And as you inhale, lift yourself up, but drop the hips. And then send your head back, reach your toes toward the head. And a back bend, keep lowering the hips, but don't let them touch the mat. And let's come to sitting on the heels or in between the heels. So I'll shift a little forward on my mat here. So either come on the heels, hands on the thighs, or if you can go a little further, come in between the heels. And then start to make your way onto your back. Stop about halfway, lift the hips, scoop that tailbone underneath you. And then rest on the back for just a few breaths. Let's make our way up to seated. Then pull one leg forward and then the other. Bring your hands into Dandasana position, so just arms at your sides here. And then as you inhale, round your back, roll back into Halasana with the toes overhead. And exhale, roll forward into a Paschimottanasana. Nothing fancy, we're just moving in and out of the pose. Inhale, you roll back. Exhale, roll forward into a seated forward bend here. So same position, just either on the legs or on the back. Let's do about 3 more rounds. Okay, last round. Okay, now as we inhale, let's swing those legs back overhead. And exhale, bend the knees. Slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time. And bring the feet down mat distance apart. And again, like windshield wipers, take the knees out to one side and then the other. Now let's take the knees over to the left. Let's hold there with the left foot just above the right knee. Take your gaze over to the right. You can close the eyes here. And if the mind wanders, when the eyes close, go ahead and bring the mind back to the breath, back to the body. So notice where you're feeling the deepest part of the stretch, and direct your breath into that area. And now let's release that left foot. Let's take the knees over to the right. And rest the right foot just above the left knee. You want to look opposite of the knees, so knees to the right, look left. Any arm variation here. Rest the arms at your sides or take them overhead. Let's release that right foot. And now bring the soles of the feet together, knees out to the sides in this butterfly or diamond-like position with the legs. Let gravity do the work here. Feel your knees moving closer and closer to the floor with each exhale. Again, opening up the body, allowing it to be a little vulnerable, a little raw and open. Now you can stay here a little while longer if you'd like to. Otherwise, you start to extend the arms and the legs. And then very important here, before you rest, check in with your body. So scan from the toes to the crown of the head. If there's anything else you need to do before you rest, you can take a minute to do that now. And then when you're ready, you let go. start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And then stretch the arms overhead. Pull your hands away from your feet. And now hug your knees into your chest and roll over to your right side. And slowly make your way up to seated. Any comfortable seated position here. Rest your hands again on your knees, palms facing up for today. Allow yourself to receive. Allow yourself to feel your body. Feel the breath as it moves in that wave-like motion in and out of the body. And now bring your hands into prayer position in front of your heart. And you can reconnect with the intention you set, and maybe that was to surrender. And remember that from time to time it's important to let go and not to ask for what you want, but to simply receive and to be grateful for what you get. Now express gratitude to yourself for taking the time to do this work. And with this intention, this surrender in your heart, gratitude in the heart and in the mind, let's end chanting the sound Om one time. Take a deep inhale. Thank you so much for sharing your time and energy with me. I hope that you feel something today. Namaste. And as always, our little encore, little chanting, a little singing to really start the day off right. For